Going to be rebuilding the Indianapolis Colts in this video, and the Colts were a team that they look like one of the better teams in the NFL for most of the season, and then just massive injuries. Personally, I thought Daniel Jones was starting to come back down to earth a little bit, actually. But either way, when he went down, and they didn't even have Anthony Richardson because he's hurt, because when isn't he not hurt? Eventually had to bring in Phillip Rivers for a couple games, but ultimately they were eliminated from the playoffs. They made some trades, they made some big moves, trying to kind of secure what they thought was a shot to win a Super Bowl. And you know what? The AFC was pretty wide open this past year. So I don't think it was a bad idea on their part to try to go for a Super Bowl trading for Sauce Gardner. But this team is going to be without some first round picks. It's going to be without some assets. But I still think it's a good enough roster where I think we can figure something out here to try to get this team back to the playoffs, back to at least an AFC championship game, and at least back to potentially winning a Super Bowl. So this Colts team, when healthy, as we don't have any of the injuries turned on right now, but they were missing so many key pieces here. They're missing the right tackle for a portion of the season, missing Daniel Jones. Anthony Richardson didn't even get to play at all because he broke his eye socket in practice. But you do have a talented receiving core here with Michael Pittman Jr., Alec Pierce, Downs. You got Warren here, who a lot of people thought early on looked like the clear best tight end from this most recent rookie class. And then Colston Loveland just kind of took off, and he was really good. Just a great tight end class, honestly. But this is a very good team. Lots of great offensive players. Obviously, with Jonathan Taylor, who feels like he's been in the league forever, but still like only 26, going on 27, so great player. He looked like an MVP. There was talks of Jonathan Taylor winning the MVP for portions of the season, you know, but defensively, solid defense, honestly. I mean, you know, can always still get better, but look at this. You got a really good corner room here, led by Sauce Gardner, who's on a big-time extension, and they traded for. You know, honestly, maybe where the Colts were going to end up picking when they traded this pick, would they have even traded their pick? Would they have even, you know, I believe they traded 2 to get him, so you do have to wonder about that. So that does kind of make this rebuild a little bit interesting, is we're not going to have access to, you know, first round picks or anything like that. This is a really solid defense, and we're going to have to try to figure out how to keep this thing together a little bit, though. But we'll get to the re-signings. I think I'm going to bring back Daniel Jones. I'm not 100% sure. Might want to still try with Anthony Richardson in this rebuild, but I think in real life, the Colts are going to try to go with Daniel Jones, bring him back, and see if they can just, if last year wasn't a fluke, if it was actually Daniel Jones kind of hitting that Sam Darnold, that Baker Mayfield, that kind of, you know, revival, or not revival, but just finally getting in a spot where they could play well, right? Where the weight of the world wasn't on their shoulders like they were with, you know, the Jets and Giants for both of those quarterbacks, and Daniel Jones and Sam Darnold. Baker Mayfield was on the Browns. I mean, and Panthers. Those are trash fire organizations, right? The saying is, quarterbacks don't fail teams and organizations. Organizations and teams fail quarterbacks. So hopefully this Colts organization team cannot fail Daniel Jones. We'll see. Retirements: Chris Wormley, Amir Abdullah retires, and of course Phillip Rivers retires. Not that surprising. He won't be around. I mean, makes sense he wouldn't be around. So those are all the retirements, and let's get into the draft. Well, not get into the draft, actually. I meant to say let's get into our re-signings. Draft class, we are going to use a fictional draft class this time. I like mixing it up. Right now, I don't feel like using one of the created draft classes. Want to use one of the Madden draft classes for this rebuild. So we're here with the re-signings. There's a decent bit of players that we do need to re-sign. Get back on this team. Anthony Richardson. He's a 69 overall. We are probably going to decline that option for Anthony Richardson. Just not going to, I think, really make any investments into that. That just doesn't really make a lot of sense for us, I don't think. But yeah, a ton of players that need to be re-signed here. But really starting things off here, I think one of the more important players to re-sign is going to be Alec Pierce. Want to bring him back. And 4-year deal here. And he will be back for us. So Alec Pierce, been a great receiver for us. Got to bring him back. Braden Smith, got to bring him back as well. And that's going to cost some money because these tackles get very finicky. So he wants to play for a new team. So we may franchise tag him. But, oh my God, this Daniel Jones contract. So yeah, this is where things get real interesting, where it's like, I know they're going to give him a deal. It's just that kills our cap. Oh my God. I really don't feel good about doing this, but I feel like they are going to bring him back. Will he take that deal? He's going to test out free agency. Okay. Well, let's try to bring back Nick Cross, one of the better young safeties in the league. Give him an extra year as well. And Nick Cross is going to be back. And yeah. That's such a big contract for Daniel, for like half a season, a good play for Daniel Jones, where you just like wonders, like, is that really what you want to do? We are going to franchise tag Braden Smith though, and that's going to do it for re-signings because we are out of cash money. So Daniel Jones will not be back for us. We restructured one contract, and that gave us just enough cap space to bring back Jermaine Pratt. Not going to be bringing back Daniel Jones. I thought we were going to bring back Daniel Jones in this rebuild, but apparently we're not. So Daniel Jones, he ends up going to the Raiders. So they can have him because we didn't have the money to sign him. So yeah. So no Daniel Jones and no first round pick is putting us in a very weird position where we might have to run it back with Anthony Richardson. Now, for us, since the way we do these rebuilds, we don't have injuries turned on, so that might be a good thing for Anthony Richardson because he won't have an opportunity to get injured. But, you know, he's still pretty lowly rated, so there's a good chance that, you know, hey, maybe that could work out pretty good for us. But right now, these are the quarterbacks. There's only one true round 1 to 2 talent in terms of quarterback. Everyone else is around 2 to 3 or 3 to 4, and they are projected to go somewhat early. So we likely won't have an opportunity to draft any of them. We're looking around here, and there are some tackles that I'm somewhat interested in. You know, I do try to avoid anyone with any F grades just because that's a little too risky. Ryan Roseman shows discipline, has motor. I feel like those are usually good things for players, but you never know. But there is some linebackers down here that look pretty good. Grayson Stevens actually looks very good as round 1 to 2 talent and looks very talented, looks very good. The reason why I would consider a linebacker here, or at least a Mike linebacker, is because when we go and look at our roster, we go and look at this defense, the leader of this defense, the current middle linebacker, is Zaire Franklin. And he is 30. He is up there in age, and, you know, we could restructure that contract. We go take a look here, stats and contract, and, you know, he still has 2 years left on the deal. Not that expensive, but we might be tight for cap space. If there's any savings we can get, I would like to do that and have a guy ready to go right there to replace Zaire Franklin if we want to trade him, try to get some more draft capital for future drafts or anything like that. So let's go into the draft, see what we can do. We're not picking until late in the second round. Well, actually, I was wrong. We're not picking until middle of the second round. We have our second round pick here. Pick number 16 in the second round. Let's get in here, make a pick. What do we want to do? One of these quarterbacks is still on the board. It's just none of them look particularly good, so we're probably not going to do it. And we're just going to take that linebacker we talked about, Grayson Stevens, B block shedding, B tackle, B zone coverage, and good physicals. Everything's good, great agility. And A awareness, he also has B play rec, so looks really good, honestly. We're going to take him. Grayson Stevens, linebacker here in the 2nd round. We got him at 48. He is ranked 40th in true value, so... And he has hidden dev, so... You know, the picks that we have absolutely got to get those picks right. When you trade your 1st round picks to acquire top-end talent, that's great. You have that talent. More than likely, right, that talent that you received is probably better than anyone else, right, than the player you would have drafted, right? That's probably 100% true. That is, you know, almost undeniable when you really think about it. But look, both of these tackles are still there. But since we're using a fictional draft class, you know what we can do? We can more than likely bet that some of these defensive tackles are good, and we do need some future defensive tackle help. And you can almost just do this with just really looking at these 3 ratings. Everyone knows this now. Awareness, play rec, and block shedding. Those are like the most important ratings for defensive tackles. If these are good, they're probably going to be a good player. And we are going to take Skylar Steele right here. And he's probably really good. And he's number 11 in true value. That name sounds familiar. I wonder if we've used this guy before. I'm not sure. That seems familiar. But Skylar Steele, hidden dev. We do have some older players on the defensive line as well. So we got to get younger here. And we do get to do it with, you know, day 2 guys. But Skylar Steele, hidden dev, 92 strength. Let's go. Really good pick right there. That's just what you have to do, right? You have to, that's the kind of thing that determines if those guys are good or not. So we're going to come back here. 4th round pick at this point. We'll go and see if any of those quarterbacks are still there. Maybe we'll take one of them. That's still a day 3, and there is a guy here. And I guess it is a strong arm guy. Elite throw power, great strength, not a scrambler or anything like that. Kind of very different from Anthony Richardson, but has a big arm. Maybe we can turn Jared Gladstone into something. Normal dev, which we expected, kind of looks like Steven Seagal when you look at him. Casey Ryback, Under Siege. Good movie. Crazy, insane person, though. But, yeah. So far, so good here on this draft. I mean, the quarterback is whatever. We just need to take an additional quarterback just because, honestly. So we come back here now, and what do we want to do here? And we look around at this draft class, and one of those tackles, both of these tackles are still there. And Brad Thomas, we're going to take a shot on Brad Thomas. He might not be very good. Just need to get some tackle depth. He's not very good at all. So that was a miss of a pick. That pick did not go well. And you know what? I'm not too surprised it didn't go well. Especially when you're kind of just drafting blind here. Then we have a couple more picks here. Here in the 6th round, some guy named Colin got drafted. Are there any more? Is that other tackle there? He's gone. And none of these right tackles look particularly good. Jared Long, day 3 guy. We'll just take a flyer. Maybe he's good. Maybe he's not. I doubt it. He's terrible. 308. So we just kind of took some flyers on some tackles here late, and neither of them ended up being particularly good, which is not surprising. I feel like more often than not, tackles late are usually not good. And then we'll probably snag one more defensive tackle, because why not? There's probably a decent one around here somewhere. If we take a look. And does anyone have good play rec? They're all kind of not good here. So, and no one has good block shedding. So Delvin Flowers we'll take here. See if he's any good. and he is normal dev, so 92 strength. He's all right for such a late round draft pick, but on to the draft recap. Okay, so here is our draft recap. Grayson Stevens is a 74 overall. Skylar Steele is a 76 overall. Really good pick right there. Jared Gladstone, 66 overall. Not too bad. Brad Thomas, actually, and Jared Long, both of those are actually fine for where we took them, honestly. Not sure if they'll develop or anything like that, but then you have Delvin Flowers is a 71 overall as well. So all in all, a pretty good draft for us. I'll see you for the start of season 1 after I go through training camp. All right, went through our first training camp. We have a ton of upgrades for a lot of players. Skylar Steele with 4 of these upgrades. We are just going to go with Power Rusher. In my experience, I have found that it is mostly good to kind of focus on the defensive tackles pass rush moves, as that does seem to, I think, more correlate with them having success in the sim. Yeah, Skylar Steele, I'm almost positive we have drafted this guy before. I feel like he is very familiar. I just can't remember which rebuild he was a part of. But Riley Leonard, we get 4 upgrade points for him. And, not sure. Riley Leonard is an option for us at quarterback. This is one of the strangest rebuilds I've done, because I'm sure a lot of people say, no, they're going to bring back Daniel Jones, but that number is just too weird. I doubt in real life the contract we offered Daniel Jones, I doubt he would turn down. I feel very confident saying he probably would accept that deal, but not so in the game. We do have Riley Leonard, though, and he did play decently when he was out there, I believe, versus the Texans, that final game of the season. I'm pretty sure he played pretty well. Granted, the Texans, I don't think they were playing for anything, so that's kind of a, maybe that means something, maybe it doesn't. But Jared Gladstone, get some upgrades here. The quarterback we drafted, and he's going up to a 70 overall. So there's a potential chance that Jared Gladstone could end up being our best quarterback. I doubt it, just because the awareness rating doesn't look particularly great, but we should have at least one Anthony Richardson upgrade here. And Richardson is not going to get up to a 70 overall, so he's going to go into the season a 69 overall. So that's not particularly exciting. And then one of those tackles we took, Brad Thomas, and we're just going to focus on agile here. Could be a future tackle for us if he develops throughout the season. We'll see. He is going to, at the very least, be a 68 overall to start off his rookie season. So pretty decent right there. 66, 68 overall. Still got to focus on the finesse, but I feel like run block power has to go up too. So definitely not a starter right now, but could potentially work his way into that starting role, potentially maybe next season. I never know. And then Grayson Stevens here, we're going to go with a field general upgrade for him, and he does get an ability slot, so that tells us that he at the very least does have a superstar dev. Like, bare minimum, he is a superstar linebacker, so pretty good move right there. Let's go take a look at this roster for year number 1 of the rebuild, though. Okay, so year number 1 of this rebuild, and we're gonna go with the quarterback we drafted here, Jared Gladstone, 72 overall. We're going to give him a shot. We're going to roll him out. We're going to see if he can do it, if he can play well. We'll see how things look at the midseason market. If not, we'll make a change, maybe go back to Anthony Richardson, but we're going to go with Gladstone. Team, mostly the same. You got Downs, you got Pittman, you got Pierce, you have our offensive line is pretty good. You got Jonathan Taylor, Tyler Warren. Defensively, basically the same team as last season. Nothing all that different with it. Yeah. So nothing too different with this team. We're basically running it back minus Daniel Jones. That's really the big difference here. We got a rookie quarterback. We're putting in the hands of Gladstone. We're going to see what he can do. If he can play well, maybe he'll be our long-term starter. If not, we'll turn it over to someone else at the midseason mark. All right, so we are 4-3 at the midseason mark. Not too bad, not great. Well, we are first place in, actually it's like a tie, and the Texans are only one game out of the AFC South. But let's go take a look here at the stats and awards. Jared Gladstone playing all right, honestly. 16 touchdowns to 6 interceptions, 1,700 yards. Having a pretty good season. Only one rushing touchdown for Jonathan Taylor, which is Gladstone has more, which is a little crazy. Not sure what's up with that. Alec Pierce having a good season. Josh Downs playing well. Michael Pittman playing well. Will Dissly with 1 touchdown. We signed him late. Tyler Warren, no touchdowns just yet. So, how's the defense doing? What's going on here? Whoa. What's going on here? Latu. I think that's how you say that. 12 sacks so far on the season. And then JT Tulamau with 3.5. Grover Stewart with 3. DeForest Buckner with 1.5. So you're Franklin with 1. And so, yeah. That's a lot of sacks to get so far in this half of the season. Then Sauce Gardner with 1 interception as well. So you do like to see that Latu getting 12 sacks right there. Really almost having like a breakout season. So I'll see you for the playoffs if we make them, but 4-3, that's pretty good. We're going to keep Gladstone in at quarterback. I don't think there's really a reason for us to change that or anything. So yeah, I'll see you for the playoffs. If we make them, that's great. If we don't, that's fine. But I think we're punching above our weight here. And we do not make the playoffs. We end up going 8-9. Jacksonville just kind of came through, and this is weird here. Yeah, so Tennessee gets left out. There must be just some insane tiebreakers here. This is really interesting. So that we do not make the playoffs, but Jared Gladstone, 26 touchdowns, 17 interceptions. Still, that's a lot of interceptions. Jonathan Taylor turned things on the second half of the year, though. Got to 1,300 yards, 9 touchdowns. Josh Downs, 16 touchdowns. Alec Pierce with 4. Pittman with 3, Warren with only 1 on the season, so it seems like maybe this playbook doesn't play nicely with tight ends. A little interesting there, but Latu, 19.5 sacks. That's a great season right there, especially for, a situation where we really finished like a game out, potentially, game and a half out of making the playoffs, 2 games out. And then you got Sauce Gardner here, 2 interceptions on the season right there, so getting some turnovers. Defense, I think, played pretty well. Maybe just the offense of being so young with the quarterback, that didn't particularly go very well for us, at times. Maybe some mistakes that, happened. But Gladstone is going to get 7 upgrade points, and I feel very confident in saying that we may have potentially found our quarterback of the future here. He developed pretty nicely here in year number 1. That was kind of what we were hoping to see. If he played well enough, developed well enough, that we could be in position where, we have our quarterback. He's on a super cheap deal. Got him in the 3rd round. So potentially finding your guy in the 3rd round is massive. He's on a cheap contract, and that will, that's better. We probably did just as well as we would have did if we would have brought back Daniel Jones on a big money deal, right? That's the thing you have to look at. Yeah, we didn't make the playoffs, but this guy's about the same overall as Daniel Jones, and we probably finished in about the same spot. I mean, you go look at the Raiders. The Raiders did make the playoffs at 10-7. So what? That cost us 2 wins basically, and we would have, maybe been in the playoffs, but I think we're in a really good spot here. We're going to advance a week here. We're going to go take a look at the playoffs here. I just want to see what's going on here. Did the Raiders advance? No, they lose. So they got to play 1 extra game than us, and they lost to the Chiefs. So we're fine. I think we're in a good spot here, and I'll see you in the offseason. So 2 big retirements here, 2 pieces of our defensive line calling it quits. DeForest Buckner and Grover Stewart both retire. We do have some replacements waiting for them, but yeah, those are 2 big retirements. But look at this. We have $123 million in cap space. So I think we made the right choice last season, letting some guys walk, not, full on restructuring a bunch of deals to, keep everyone and make any moves. We can re-sign who we need to re-sign this year and potentially go and get some additions in the free agent market and make a real run at things for the next 3 years. So doing some re-signings here. One of the players that we definitely want to keep around is Josh Downs, and we're going to give him a pretty big deal, basically 3 years, $50 million, and he's going to stick around, take that deal, re-signs with us. Michael Pittman Jr., though, this is a little interesting. I think this is a relatively cheap deal for Pittman. We'll go with that. He's going to test out free agency. That's fine. We're going to let him walk. Jonathan Taylor, I think, is a little more important to bring back. This is a 4-year deal, and he's willing to take that. So we're going to bring back Jonathan Taylor. Kenny Moore, we're going to let walk. Braden Smith, I think we're going to let walk. And I think everyone else here we are going to let walk. Anthony Richardson, it just didn't work out, I guess is the way to say it. But everyone else we're going to let walk here. And we're going to go into free agency with around $69 million. That seems pretty nice. All right, free agency here. We have a bunch of players that we are interested in. And let's just kind of see what we got here. And we get Adonai Mitchell back. We get T.R. Tart, and we get Riley Moss here. So we get a little bit younger at corner here. We still have these two guys, Jack Fox, McKivens, who eventually left us in the 49ers rebuild. But we bring them in here to Indianapolis to play right tackle for us. So there we go. We are looking pretty good right here. I think that's a pretty good free agent class, and that's going to do it for free agency. And we're going to move on to see what we can do in the draft. We don't have a first-round pick. Okay, so before we get to the draft here, we are doing a little bit of pre-draft homework, and there is a pretty good defensive tackle here, Chase Boyd, who is kind of more in our range because, again, we don't have a first-round pick. So, good block shedding, good play recognition, good awareness. Those are things that you are always looking for these guys. So, Chase Boyd is on our board. He is probably not going to go in the first round, so there's that. And then there are two corners we are looking at here. One of them is Jamison Coleman. I am expecting that we're probably going to need to start replacing some corners here just because of the contracts with those things. So want to get those guys in here right away. And yeah, Jamison Coleman looks honestly not that great. If I'm being honest, he does have around 1 to 2 true talent grade, but then there is another corner a little bit later in here, 6'1", 204 pounds. B, catching, C, man coverage, D, zone coverage. Maybe this is just relative to the draft class. These guys are around 1 to 2 talent, so maybe the guys further up aren't that good. I don't know, but these are the players who are there in the range where we could potentially take them, right? So that's kind of what we have to do. We have to try to find some diamonds in the rough, and I don't know, maybe one of these corners are, but I think we might take that defensive tackle with our first pick. Well, someone took one of those corners. I'm not sold on the corners, if I'm being honest. So we are going to take Chase Boyd right here with this pick. Does have the block shedding, the play rec, all that other good stuff. And he's pretty good. Ranked number 26 in true value. Got him at number 43. Does have hidden dev as well. So I know we just brought in T.R. Tart, but that is not a long-term solution. I think Chase Boyd is a little bit more long-term for us. And now we're going to go to our next user pick. If that corner is still there, which I honestly don't expect him to be, I feel like we're probably going to get outfoxed here. Teams like drafting corners, I've noticed. And if that corner is still there, he is still there. We're going to just take him right here, 6'1". The one that I kind of liked a little bit more, Jaquez Conley. We're going to take, he is number 48 in true value. Got him at 75. Does not have hidden dev. Only has normal dev. 89 speed. You know, hopefully he's good. Maybe we can develop him, but I will see you for the draft recap because that's all the drafting. And you know what? Let's go to our next pick. Let's go to our next pick here because we might need to look at some future edge players as well, just because, you know, again, contracts. I always mention this. Always thinking of that stuff. Is there any quarterbacks? We have our quarterbacks, so there's no quarterbacks that I noticed that were all that interesting. If there were, we sure weren't in position to draft any of them. This receiver looks terrible. That guy looks really bad. This guy also looks really bad. So this is not a draft to need receiver. So it's a good thing we spent some money. Jeremy Barber. What's his catch in traffic? Now they don't want to show me that. But A catch in traffic, A catching, terrible deep route. Okay speed, nothing to write home about, so that's probably not going to be the pick. We're good at tight end. This doesn't look like a good tight end draft anyways. And there are some edge players here. There's one all the way down here, round 2 to 3, true talent. We'll take a look over here. Anyone interested? Not really, so we're just going to take this guy, Derek McCain. F block shedding. Okay, that's... We're not taking that. That block shedding being an F is a big no-no for me. Even though he does have good play rec, there has to be a point, son. There has to be a limit to some of this stuff. And that is not what I'd like to see right there. Round 3 to 4 for this guy. His block shedding is a D, but he does have B play rec, B finesse moves. Boy. Well, we'll just take Rashad Jefferson here. The other guy doesn't look all that good. So this guy, number ranked 84 in true value. He looks whatever. We'll go back. We'll take another one of those edge players as well, just to have a pair of them that we could potentially develop moving forward. These menus are really slow. I don't know why they're so slow. I feel like the menus should not be this slow. And yeah, I don't think any of those guys are around anymore now. I'm fascinated just to see what this guy actually looks like. He has terrible block shedding though, so that's why I'm not confident in him being... He's ranked number 72 in true value. He does have hidden dev. He does have hidden dev, probably star. But the block shedding, that is terrible. That like terrifies me. But if he's going to be a hidden dev player, maybe we found a steal right there and maybe we can develop him. But I'll be interested to see what his actual ratings are. I'll see you for the draft recap. So Chase Boyd, he is a 75 overall hidden dev player here. Has a lot of work to do on his actual pass rush moves, so that is something we will focus on for his development moving forward. But I think there's a good base here for him as a player. Should be good for us. Jaquez Conley also looks pretty good, I think, as well. Again, gonna have to work on the coverage a little bit. Not the fastest guy, but 89 speed, that's probably about as slow as you can go, I think, and be usable in Madden. Rashad Jefferson is a 70 overall. Not sure if he'll ever be much for us at all. Yeah, I just doubt he'll be much. And then, but Derek McCain, out of Miami, he has terrible block shedding at a 56, but 86 acceleration, 79 speed, a little bit slow. The power moves are 79. So that is interesting right there. So he has good power moves. We just have to work on the block shedding. That is just where he has to get better. So, you know, maybe we can do that. I don't know. I'll be interested to see if he ever turns into anything for us in this rebuild. And then the CPU took Elliott Cassidy, 5'10", out of Arizona State. He has hidden dev, 90 speed, 89 acceleration. So, you know, we'll see if he could turn into something, a player for us down the road. You always have to check these now because I feel like they do draft hidden dev players for you every now and then. And then we took a running back, Tony Bass. Looks like a running back. I doubt he'll ever be much, but you never know. I'll see you for the start of season number 2 after I do some training camp drills. We have some upgrades here for Jared Gladstone, and I'm glad to have him getting upgraded here. We got 3 upgrade points here. We're going to try to spend these all on field general. See if we can potentially get him to be a scheme fit, and he's not going to end up being one right now. But we do get those awareness upgrades. Those are super big, up to a 79 awareness. That is really big, honestly. He should perform a lot better in the sim, right? We should cut down on some of those interceptions. Here's Brad Thomas we took in that first draft for year number 1. So now he's coming into his second year, still really not ready to start for us. If I'm being entirely honest, still has I think a long way to go in his development, but I will take any upgrades I can get for him. And yeah, so he's going to be up to a 72. and should probably potentially start for us maybe next year at right tackle. I think there's a real shot of that happening, but you never know. But 73 overall, that's good. You love to see that. And +4 lead block, so his ratings definitely going up pretty nicely right here, but still a ton of work to do here, even for like his run block power and things like that. Okay. I accidentally broke the screen, I guess. Then we have some here for Jaquez Conley, who we took. We have some upgrade points for him. And for him, I think it was his man coverage that needed a lot of work. So that is what we're going to focus on here. Also potentially get him to be a scheme fit as well, just to get any little bit of extra XP. I don't think it's that much. I don't think it matters that much if guys are scheme fits or not. But he's going to be a 76 overall at the very least going into his rookie season. So I do like seeing that. Again, man coverage 79 and then a 68 for zone coverage. So pretty good stuff right there as well. And then Elliott Cassidy has 11 upgrade points here. That's a lot. Again, and I guess for all of these, we'll just go with slot. I mean, that's kind of where he truthfully kind of slots in potentially for us long term. But we will go all of these on slot because why not? And he's just getting upgraded pretty fast here. And 73 right there. So that's pretty good. +3 awareness, +4 release. Those are really nice upgrades. If we were playing with him, pause, that'd be pretty nice, honestly. But we are not playing with him. We are playing with ourselves and simulating these seasons. So, you know, some people like playing with others. I think it's more fun to play with yourself, if you know what I mean. So, 77 overall. I mean, this guy could be like an 80 by the time we're done with all of these upgrades here, and that's a big upgrade right there. And +2 spec catch, +1 release. That's always good for these guys. And he's gonna be just short of being an 80 overall. Gonna be a 79, and we don't get another awareness upgrade right there. So 79 overall, star dev. Really nice stuff right there, honestly. So those are some great upgrades for him. And then Chase Boyd, our defensive tackle. Again, we are going to go with the pass rush moves for these guys. Those are always the important things to go with it. And also, I believe he needs a lot of help with that as well. So it makes a lot of sense to go with those moves for him. And going to get him up to a 79 overall here. +5 block shedding. So I do like to see that. And yeah, so Tony Bass has 3 upgrades. Riley Leonard has 3 upgrades. So tons of upgrades here for those guys. I will see you for the start of season number 2. Okay, so year 2 of the rebuild here. We're, you know, a little worse off. We lost some veterans, but still offensive line is very good. Gladstone is up to an 83 overall. We have a very good receiving core. Downs is up to a superstar. So very talented receiving core here. We have good running backs, great tight end. Defensively, you know, a little worse for wear in the interior of the defensive line, but I do think Skylar Steele, I think, should start for it, or he is going to start for us. So kind of a lot of this is going to be on him. Latu had a great season last year. So hopefully he can keep doing that. Then that linebacker we took, Grayson Stevens, has superstar dev. So he is going to take over as the lead linebacker this year. So hopefully we expect him to have a really good season. But I will see you for the midseason mark just to kind of see where we are, how we're doing. But I am expecting pretty big things from this defense at the very least. I think this defense should perform pretty well. I think this offense should be even better with Gladstone, just because his awareness ratings are way higher than they were last season. All right, mid-season mark, and we are 6-1 on the season, doing pretty well. Let's go take a look at the stats. And Jared Gladstone, 18 touchdowns to 3 interceptions on the season, so he's having a very good season. Cut down on those interceptions. I think that was the key thing with getting that awareness rating up. Jonathan Taylor having a very good year as well, 4 touchdowns. 662 yards. And then receiving-wise, 15 touchdowns for Josh Downs, Alec Pierce with a touchdown, Tyler Warren with one, Elliott Cassidy, and then it feels like we brought in Adonai Mitchell for nothing. We paid him a bunch of money, and then we kind of found a steal in the draft right there. So, yeah, kind of sucks for him, I guess. But he is getting paid, so I guess who really cares? Sacks, Latu, only 4 so far, so hopefully he turns it on in the second half of the season. Not a whole lot of sack production right now. Some turnovers though, 3 for Sauce Gardner, Grayson Stevens with an interception. So you do like seeing that, but I feel confident enough that we should potentially make the playoffs, but you never know. But I will see you at the midseason mark, and I'll see if we make it. I would like to. All right, so we made the playoffs at 10-7. We are the wild card. We did win the AFC South though at 10-7, so pretty nice. Looks like the Patriots were kind of the class of the AFC here. Take a look here at the stats. Jared Gladstone, 37 touchdowns to 8 interceptions, 3,800 yards. Really good season for him. Jonathan Taylor, still really good at 1,400 yards. And then Josh Downs, almost 1,200 yards, 25 touchdowns right there. Elliott Cassidy had a pretty good season. So did Alec Pierce, Jonathan Taylor. So really good stuff right there defensively. Did get some sack production here from JT Tulamaloa. JT gave us great sack production. And then we got 10 from Latu as well. Skylar Steele with 5.5, Chase Boyd with 3. So our defensive line, Tier Tart with 2.5. So defensive line getting after it a little bit too as well. You like to see that. And then Sauce Gardner, 3 interceptions, and then everyone else getting in on the action as well, along with Riley Moss getting 2. So really good stuff right there. Defense performed, and we're going to take on the Buffalo Bills, see if we can beat them and move on to the divisional round of the playoffs. Okay, AFC wild card here, and we are going to come in, try to put a stop to them right here. We are up 21-10. And getting a stop here would be really big for us. We do get some pressure. Down goes Allen. It's Chase Boyd with the sack, bringing him down. And that might be your dagger right here. And Allen just got absolutely lit up on that play. Dawkins couldn't hold him up forever. Down he goes. That kind of looks like a little helmet under chin action right there. That maybe would have been a penalty. But either way, we end up getting a stop right there, and we're going to continue on here, and they do get the ball back. Doesn't matter. They don't have enough time to do anything. We end up beating the Bills 21-18. We are moving on to the divisional round here in Gladstone's second year starting. We beat the Bills. Okay, so Jared Gladstone, pretty decent game from him. Well, actually, I don't know. Not a great completion percentage, but 3 touchdowns on the day. You'll always take that. No turnovers. Again, I've pointed out multiple times in multiple videos, it seems like the running game does not do well in the sim for whatever reason. When you're doing play the moments, I've just never seen a running back have a good performance. But Jonathan Taylor did have a good performance catching the ball, though. He got a touchdown. And then Chase Boyd, the rookie, 1.5 sacks in this one. So he's kind of the hero for us in this one. You do like seeing that. And then Riley Moss with some white-on-white violence picking off Josh Allen in this one. And PlayStation wants you to know to pre-order Marathon. Okay, so divisional round of the playoffs. We are taking on the Denver Broncos. It's the Who Won a Super Bowl with Peyton Manning Bowl. Okay, so we jumped in. There's like 15 seconds left. We are driving. We have our timeouts left. And we are going to try to get into field goal range, make this kick here. But that should get us into position to potentially kick a field goal and get out of here and head to the AFC Championship game there. 2 seconds left on the clock. And we should be centered. We are. And not Sean Payton is going to call a timeout here. So we'll see. Can I make this kick? I don't know, because this thing is bigger and it's like in my way, so I can't see it all the way fully. So I don't think I am gonna make it, because it goes, oh no, we are gonna make it. We do make the kick. We beat the Broncos here 27-24, and we are moving on to the AFC Championship game after beating the Broncos by a field goal. Let's go take a look here at the player stats real quick. Let's see what kind of game Jared Gladstone had. 3 touchdowns again, 18 for 24. Just another really good, solid game. Nothing for Jonathan Taylor rushing. But he did have a receiving touchdown, Warren with one, and Josh Downs with one as well. And then defensively, 2 interceptions here. One from Sauce Gardner, one from Riley Moss. More white-on-white violence. And then 1.5 sack here for Latu, 1 for Chase Boyd, and a half for Nick Cross. Let's go see who we're playing in the AFC Championship game. All right, AFC Championship game. We are taking on the Jaguars here. So AFC South matchup for this championship game. Let's see what we can do. I would like to get to the Super Bowl here in year 2 of the rebuild. That'd be pretty nice. Well, we beat the Jaguars 35-32. They went for an onside kick. Didn't get it. We were able to get another first down in the sim, I guess. Either way, we win. We're going on to the Super Bowl. I kind of missed that there. My bad. And a decent day for Jared Gladstone here. 14 for 17, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception on the day. Only 185 yards, though. And Jonathan Taylor actually did have a good game in the sim, so that's interesting. I don't know. Guess sometimes they can have good games in the sim. We got 2 touchdowns here for Alec Pierce. We got a touchdown for Elliott Cassidy here. So I was going to make a comment about the makeup of that receiving group right there, but I'm not going to. 2 sacks for Skylar Steele, and JT also had a sack, and then 1 interception here from Javarius Ward Sr. So good stuff right there. On to the Super Bowl we go. Okay, we're in the Super Bowl here, taking on the Lions. I believe the Lions made the last Super Bowl, lost to the Colts. Now we make it, or they lost to the Chiefs, excuse me, they didn't lose to us. They lost to the Chiefs. This time they have the Colts. Maybe they think, hey, this is an easier lick than having to play Patrick Mahomes, but we'll see. I would like to win here in year number 2, try to get that three-peat going again. Or not again, but you know what I mean. We like going for three-peats here on this channel. Okay, we are in the Super Bowl here. We are up 35-28. The Lions have an opportunity to drive. We're going to see what they do, and we can make a big stop right here. And I guess we'll call that, but 44 seconds left here. I doubt they run the football, but they are running the football. Okay. All right. I'm not sure why they would do that. That seems really dumb to waste your final timeout to do that, but whatever. Yeah, I mean, they need a touchdown here, so that is not going to do it. That is going to make it 3rd and 1 here. And there's pressure coming in on Goff. He goes down. It's Skylar Steele with the play right there, and that might seal up a Super Bowl victory here for the Colts. Goff gonna get hit on that throw, and that is gonna do it right there. And the Colts have yet again won a Super Bowl. This time they do it against the Detroit Lions. The Lions lose back-to-back Super Bowls. Last year to the Chiefs, this year to the Indianapolis Colts. And we won one for Jim Irsay here. Let's go see if we can get a couple more. Jared Gladstone had a pretty good Super Bowl here. 20-26, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Jonathan Taylor, 80 rushing yards and a rushing touchdown. Gladstone with 11 carries and a rushing touchdown. Receiving, Josh Downs with 98 yards and a touchdown. Touchdown for Elliott Cassidy. A touchdown for Jonathan Taylor receiving wise as well. And then defensively, 1 sack for Skylar Steele. That was the one that basically sealed it. And then Grayson Stevens getting an interception as well. So let's see who we're losing in the offseason, who we got to re-sign, and if we can make this team even better. Okay, so we have some retirements here. Colton McKivens calls it a career, and Mike Hilton also retires. Okay, so re-signing period here. We have $50 million in cap. We are going to accept this Tyler Warren option right there. But I would say there's nothing too serious in terms of what we have to re-sign. I think we will sign Jalen Carleys. We'll give him some money. And he's excited to sign. I bet you are. Yeah, Jermaine Pratt, not going to be back, actually. We're going to move on from him. I think the rest of these guys, we pretty much can move on. Zaire Franklin is a guy that we can move on from. We might be able to, honestly, potentially find a replacement in free agency. We're going to give this punter 2 years. He's excited. I just love that for him. And then a 1-year deal here for Travarius Ward. You know what? We're actually not going to do that. We're going to let the guy that we drafted kind of take over that third cornerback slot right there. Let him get on the field. And that's what we're going to do. What we're actually going to do, I think, as we advance through here, is we're going to go see what's available in free agency in terms of potentially maybe there's some good running backs. We don't need any running backs, but it is just kind of interesting to think about. But we actually don't need any running backs. What we are going to do here is Joe Alt. That could be interesting, but we're good at tackle, right? That's the thing. We don't really need any tackles. So we're mostly fine. Travarius Ward, who we did let walk. And we're going to go take a look around at some other positions here. We're good at defensive tackle, so we don't need any more defensive tackles. Good at edge. And yeah, we're good at linebacker, actually, as well. I mean, Zaire Franklin is 32, has regressed all the way down to a 74. And there's Matt Milano right there. But we're pretty good at this weak inside linebacker position. But I don't know. Does this guy want some money? Drake Thomas? Maybe we can get Drake Thomas. He wants to be a Dallas Cowboy. What about Christian Harris? Could we convince him? Right? I know we have some guys there, but that guy's signed relatively cheap. Is Christian Harris? He's interested. We're going to go back in there, and we're going to just go straight to that for this offer. And is he interested in that? He still is interested. Corner, we're mostly fine at. That is just a little too expensive for a spare corner. I am going to still look for one. And it might be Rakestraw right here. Give him a 3-year deal. Around, hair over $6 million a year. And I think that's going to do it for what we want to do in free agency. If we get Harris, that's great. If not, it's fine. We have a weak inside linebacker anyways. So we get Rakestraw. So that's a decent signing right there. And we'll probably sign an additional linebacker here. And yeah, it'll probably be Robert Spillane. It's a 1-year deal for him. I'll look through here. Weak inside guys. Is anyone here just looking for like a 1-year deal? Just to have a guy for like 1 year, and none of them look like really an upgrade over what we have. We're fine at strong safety. We don't actually Bynum is getting a little bit older. So that is something we do have to think about. Maybe we'll monitor that in the draft, find a safety that could replace him right there. But Robert Spillane should sign with us. And yeah, so that's all we're going to do in free agency. I'll see you in the draft. I'm going to do a little bit of homework on this draft class, see where we could potentially get some value. We do have our first round pick, so our first round pick of this rebuild. Okay, so we did a little bit of homework here. Strong safety is a position that could be a position of need for us coming up here. And Bryce Merritt looks like he might have the merits of a first round pick here. Great speed for a safety. And all in all, looks pretty good. His skills look okay. C, play rec. B, zone coverage, though. A, awareness. I'm going to assume he has a dev trait just because he's a round 1 talent. He might not. Then we have Jonathan Parra, who is he does have elite jumping. I don't know. We could double up on safety here, honestly. Just take both of them in the draft and just kind of see where both of them are. Nothing wrong with that. Honestly, just having a ton of really good players in the secondary. This guy looks really good too, honestly. So they'll both go on my board. And this other one is a round 2 to 3 talent. He looks really solid too. Great speed. It's weird because other guys had better speed and just said good. So I don't know if this whole thing's broken or something, but does have B, play rec, B, man coverage, B, zone coverage, B, awareness, B, I don't know. This guy also looks very good. I don't know. We'll see once we get into the draft. We also did focus throughout the season. Still focused on defensive linemen, of course. And, of course, there's always steals to be had late with defensive linemen in Madden. Did some work on tackle as well, which you may potentially need some tackle help in the future here. Diego Barron. So tackle looks pretty good. Right tackle, not so much, honestly. Just because, I don't think there's that many good ones here. Because you can see that there's, none projected to even go before round 3 or 4. So, not a very good right tackle class. So, there is that. I'll see you for the draft. So, first round here. Pick number 32. We are simply just going to take Bryce Merritt. Does have the first round true talent grade on him there. And he's ranked number 16 in true value. So, that was definitely the right pick to make. He only has normal dev though, 91 speed, 92 acceleration, but only normal development trait. Now I'm interested to see what that other safety has. I doubt he'll still be on the board when we get there, but if he is, I will take a peek and see if we can, maybe we'll consider drafting him as well. That safety is still there. We could just double up on safeties. Callum Barnes, I'm interested. I'm just kind of fast. I want to see. Sorry, I'm taking 2 safeties. I know that doesn't seem smart, but we're just going to double up. He's ranked number 52 in true value. He also has normal dev, so I really wanted to see that badly. I know there's not too many good offensive tackles there, but 92 speed, 91 acceleration, 2 pretty good safeties here. We double up on that position, so we have depth there. We can move some guys around if we have to. Different positions, so, and they're both pretty good athletes too, so you do like to see that as well. And yeah, all these potentially UDFA guys. Is there any tackles here that have a draftable grade? There is one here, a day 3 grade. Alejandro Castillo. We're gonna take him, might as well. Ranked 199 in true value, but we'll see what he looks like. He has terrible pass block finesse. He's not ready to play. I'll say that much right now. He is not ready to play. So, pick 5 here. Still looking for some talent. Always looking for guys to add. There's a defensive tackle. I always like adding defensive tackles because some of them always begin to, fall out of favor. And we'll take a look here, see what's around. And there is a round 1 guy here, Jeff Howard. We're going to take him out of Notre Dame. Round 1 talent. That's better than the round 1 to 2 talent. So he's ranked number 20 in true value. Got him at 128. Normal dev as well. So we are very good at defensive tackle now with Jeff Howard. We probably don't have to take any more defensive tackles for the rest of this rebuild. We haven't even really had to make any trades in this rebuild, so kind of just draft and develop, sign some guys here and there, kind of rebuild right now. And we will take a look at some tight ends and see if there's anyone here that we really like. Or anyone that we think could be interesting. This guy does have B catching traffic. Eric Boyd. Screw it, why not? Is Eric Boyd any good? The catching traffic rating kind of got me. He is terrible. 82 speed. Terrible pick. I'll see you for the draft recap. So here's our draft recap. Bryce Merritt is a 77 overall. Very good stuff right there. 91 speed, man coverages, whatever, but 81 play rec, or that's way up because of the team morale boost. I'm not sure why he'd be getting those right now. So we'll look through it in here in this screen. Play rec is a 67. I'm not sure why it's playing up like that. So Callum Barnes had better play rec. Does not have as good hit power. You can actually take a quick look here at all these guys' things. Man coverage. He's a better man coverage guy. Better press. This guy might be a corner. Callum Barnes. Callum Barnes might be a corner, honestly. We'll have to see what he looks like if we switch him to corner. And you see Jeff Howard looks really good. 77 overall. Boyd, 66 overall. But our three main picks, really good here. Callum Barnes. This guy feels like he has corner written all over him. Zone coverage is good. Man coverage is good. They're good even with the morale boosts. That might be a corner in the future. We'll have to wait and see. So our first round safety does get a dev trait upgrade to star. That should really help. 2,500 skill points or XP points and a skill point for him as well. So pretty good training camp for us. And we get a dev trait upgrade for our defensive tackle that we took, Jeff Howard, as well. He goes up to star. So again, good training camp so far for us. First trade of the rebuild, it's going to be Riley Leonard going to the Cowboys. He's developed into a 77 overall. We're going to ship him out here to the Cowboys for a 2 and a 3 in 2029. Okay, so here's the team for year number 3 of the rebuild. 89 overall, 92 overall offense, 87 overall defense. Gladstone up to star dev. We have Downs up to superstar. Taylor still at superstar. We have a hidden dev running back behind Jonathan Taylor. We have Brad Thomas, who we drafted year 1, finally ready to start, and he will be starting at right tackle, 76 overall. I think he's good enough, ready to go, and finally contribute for this team. Defensively, we are absolutely elite on this defensive line, I think. Corner room is good. We hope some of these guys can develop, but we look pretty good right there. Safety room looks good. Bynum is, 84 overall, but he is 30. And Cameron Bynum, I believe his contract is coming up, or at least is close to it. And yes, he is going to be a free agent after this upcoming season. So for being honest, it would almost make sense to potentially move him. And I think we are going to do that. Cam Bynum, we are going to trade, get an offer here. What do we have out there to get? And we're going to look around here. And there's really nothing that I like, honestly. So you know what? We'll just keep Bynum, run it back with him. No point in not doing that. So I will see you for the playoffs. No midseason check-in. Don't need to do that just yet. And yeah, so let's go. Okay, so we did make the playoffs, 14 and 3, the 1 seed in the AFC. Now we're going to go look at our stats. And again, really good season here for Jared Gladstone, 37 touchdowns to 7 interceptions on the year. 1,600 yards for Jonathan Taylor. He had a very good year. Philip Vanover also had a good year, 305 yards. So very easily getting a situation where, 2,000 rushing yards on the season as a team. Josh Downs, another great season. Elliott Cassidy, really good. Alec Pierce, really good. Tyler Warren, good. And yeah, I don't think Adonai Mitchell's caught one pass since we brought him back, but is what it is there. And then take a look here. 16 sacks for Latu. Tumalau, 10.5 sacks. We got Skylar Steele with 7. Chase Boyd with 5. So getting after the quarterback pretty good here right now. And then we have 5 interceptions for Riley Moss, Grayson Stevens. So, and I'm glad we didn't trade Cam Bynum. Kept him around for this year. Not going to bring him back, but might as well keep him around and try to make a Super Bowl run. Try to go back-to-back here with him. And let's advance here, taking on the Raiders. They still have Daniel Jones. Let's see, can we defeat the Las Vegas Raiders? We do. We beat them 42-14. Do the weekly strategy stuff here. Skip through all of that. And we're looking pretty good here. We are looking like a well-oiled machine. Ton of upgrades right here. And, well, we have a ton. It might be one. Actually, there is a decent amount of upgrades here. So, let's go with Jared Gladstone. We'll give him another field general upgrade here. He is up to a 92 overall. Took him in the 3rd round. Kind of just took a flyer on him. And he has worked out really good for us, honestly. Jeff Howard, another upgrade here for him. He is up to an 83 overall, and he's a rookie. Another guy that we just kind of took a flyer on, and he has been pretty good. So we have definitely built up this defensive line pretty nicely. I'll get back to you when I'm done doing these upgrades. All right, so AFC Championship game. I'm not going to jump into it. We're just going to simulate, see if we can win. Can we beat the Chargers here? Can we? And we do beat the Chargers. I believe we do. We do. 42-23. We have some more upgrades here to do. And that upgrade is going to be Grayson Stevens here. We're going to get another upgrade for him. He has been a very good pick for us. Moving on from Zaire Franklin, +5 man coverage. He is a superstar dev player, so you love seeing that. We have a player recognition. Let's see who won an award when they come and talk to us here. And looking back on the performances, don't forget about your impact. And let's see. Well, someone won an award. We'll go see who won what. But we're going to be taking on the Giants in the Super Bowl here. It is going to be Colts, Giants, and yearly awards. We didn't win MVP, so someone had to have won something in the AFC. And I'm not sure who did, honestly. Someone won something. And Jonathan Taylor won Best Running Back, so my guess is that's what that is. Best D-line. Grayson Stevens won Best Linebacker. Riley Moss won Best Defensive Back. So, good stuff for them. Let's go see if we can win the Super Bowl, beat the Giants. I'll jump in, play the moments, and we'll see if we can get 2 in a row. Okay, so we are here in the Super Bowl. 3rd down alert, 28-19. We do have the lead. We'll come in real quick, try to keep the lead. See if we can just throw this pass right here, pick up the 1st down, get tackled, and that should... Jared Gladstone, in a crazy day, almost 400 yards. We don't need to jump back in here. 31-19. They can go for it. And we are going to win another Super Bowl here. Back-to-back championships. 31-19. We beat the Giants in this one. Now, let's see if we can go for ring number 3. All right, so here's Gladstone's 21-35, 4 touchdowns, 417 yards. Jonathan Taylor, only 15 rushing yards, so they shut down the run game here. But then you take a look here, 160 yards for Elliott Cassidy, 91 for Alec Pierce. Jonathan Taylor had a good game. Josh Downs had a good game as well. Just a big game for those guys. And then defensively, 4 sacks for Latu, 2 sacks for Chase Boyd, 1.5 sacks for Skylar Steele. Tulamau, Jalen Charles had a good game. No interceptions, but 4 sacks for Latu. He really just showed up in this one. So some big retirements here. Quentin Nelson retires left guard after 11 years. And then Tier Tart also retires. He's fallen down the depth chart a little bit. So it's not that big of a loss, but Quentin Nelson, that is a massive loss for us. We're going to have to replace him probably in free agency. So we have some re-signings to do here. JT Tuilamola, however you pronounce this guy's name. 2-year deal, see if he's willing to take that. He is. And then Cameron Byram, we're going to let move on. DJ Giddens, we're not going to bring back. And really, I think everyone else here, we really just don't need to bring back. So, on to free agency. All right, free agency, we're going to fix the hole that Quentin Nelson left in our line by where we're just going to do a 1-year stopgap thing here with Damian Lewis. That's who we're going to bring in. And that's really going to be it, honestly. I mean, we don't need to do really anything else. This team is still pretty set right now. We probably do need to bring in another backup linebacker just because it's good to have some depth here, and we're gonna look around and just kind of see what we can do. So Robert Spillane, we could just bring back Robert Spillane, honestly, but I do want to bring in someone who is maybe a little more athletic than Robert Spillane, but yeah, we'll bring in Bobby Okereke. Just some depth right there. And I think that's all we're going to do, actually. So, yeah, I think that is going to do it for us. I don't think we need to do anything else. Cam Byram, Bynum, going to be a free agent. Not going to bring him back. And I feel pretty good about bringing these guys on. And we do bring both of those guys on. Both of them 1-year deals. So, let's go see what we can do in the draft, because that's it for free agency. So we're looking through some prospects here. Glenn Massey looks absolutely sick. 6'6", 224 pounds. He looks awesome. I want him. I want to see who's drafted him. We'd have to trade all the way up for the #1 pick here. Glenn Massey. I want him. I don't care how unrealistic this is. We're going to go try to trade for that pick because I just want to have some fun here. We have a ton of picks. Unrealistic, but at this point, who cares? Oh. Damn it, I really want to pull this off. I just don't think it's going to be possible. Oh, man, this really sucks. I really want to do this. Yeah, that's just not going to happen. Well, that sucked. I really wanted that receiver, but that's just not going to happen. Damn. All right, Glenn Massey goes #1 in the draft. Let's send him to our pick here. We could not trade up for him. I tried. I'd really tried putting something together. We were close. Their cap situation is just not very good. And so that's not going to happen. So that does kind of suck a little bit right here. We're going to take Jason Childress, because I do think in real life this team would probably start looking at some receivers to replace the guys they have. Josh Downs, Alec Pierce, going to be upcoming free agents. So I think in real life this team would look to kind of start looking to kind of have that contingency plan for when those guys finally hit the market and do leave. So that's the pick we're going to make right there. We're still looking around here. What do we want to see? There is a tight end that we have looked at, round 2 to 3. I think we'll take him. I think we've needed an upgrade for tight end #2 for a couple seasons, just haven't done it. And we do have one here. Hidden Dev, 272 pounds, 6'5". He's a really big guy, really good acceleration. So get up to that top speed pretty fast. So let's go up to this next pick here. And we'll see what we have Potentially some tackles, if there's any that are good. The answer is no. I feel like there's just not enough good tackles in some of these draft classes. I would like to see them be a little bit better, but it's fine. So we'll look through here. And we'll look through here. And I don't really know what I want to do at this point in the draft, honestly, because I feel like we're just kind of set, honestly. So I don't really know what we need to do. Could use a future guard in Diego Elias. He looks all right. So we'll look through here. Ranked number 19 at true value. So I know we signed one. Again, this is kind of drafting as if we're going to do a 5th year. You just want to draft with kind of just future things in mind. I'm going to let the CPU handle the rest of the draft, and it's on to year number 4. Okay, here we are. Jason Childress, 76 overall. Looks really good. We'll never really get to see that, but he looks good. And the rest of the draft class is actually really good. Cam Ross, 72. Diego Elias is a 76 overall. We have Eli Grimes, who looks really good as well. He is hidden dev, so he looks really good. So there's the future of this line, even the interior, actually looks really good. So we've set up this team, I think, for some long-term success. Granted, you got to remember, Gladstone's contract is up soon, so only had 4 years on it. So we got to take full advantage of that rookie contract. I'll see you for the start of year number 4. Okay, so this is the final team for year number 4 of this rebuild. 89 overall, 91 overall offense, 88 overall defense. We look really good. Defensive line's really good. We have great edge players. Our linebacking room is decent enough. We have some good safeties here. Good cornerback room. I think we'll be really good. So, yeah. So I'll see you for the playoffs. We should make them. And for a little bit of fun, for the final year of the rebuild, let's just go crazy with it and go with the Bengals playbook. We know we'll get some crazy numbers. I want to see what type of crazy numbers this offense can put up. All right, so we go 15-2. Great season. Let's go take a look at the numbers. I'm sure they're going to be great. Jared Gladstone, almost 5,000 yards, 43 touchdowns to 4 interceptions on the season. And Jonathan Taylor, even with that playbook change, still almost got 1,000 yards rushing, so you do like to see that. 14 touchdowns. And then Josh Downs, 9 touchdowns. You have Elliott Cassidy with 11, 9-11 right there. Oh, Alec Pierce, 1,000 yards. Tyler Warren, this is probably the best season he's put up so far in this rebuild. So you do like seeing that. Yeah, we'll take a look here at the defense real quick, and just a great season for Latu. He just keeps being great. Skylar Steele with 16 sacks. So he just had a great season. And then someone had 5 interceptions. Sauce Gardner, 5 interceptions. I think the 2 first-round picks that the Colts traded for Sauce Gardner, I think they were worth it. 2 Super Bowls here. And we are going to do one more little bit of upgrades right here. And let's see if we can get this. If we can get this. If we can get some decent upgrades here. We'll actually we'll take a look when we're done with all this at the roster. But good upgrades here. Sauce Gardner somehow has never gotten to Superstar X Factor in here. He's just been, I feel like he's been star the entire time. So I don't know, but he is starting to age a little bit right there, up to age 29. Can we get one last Super Bowl run out of Sauce Gardner? We're going to simulate this game versus the Chargers. I have faith that we are going to hold on and win this one, and we do. 35-29, very close. Going to take on the Steelers here. And they signed Brian Burns last offseason, so that was a really big signing for them. And we are going to go in here, a couple more upgrades, simulate this training, do these upgrades, and then we'll jump in, play the moment stat, and then hopefully we'll be good enough to win. And Hopefully we can get to the Super Bowl. We are better than the Steelers. 86 overall, 87 offense, 85 defense. We're better. 92 overall, 93 overall offense, 91 overall defense. I think we should win, but that's why you got to play the games. All right, so we are here in the AFC Championship game. 28-14. We have the lead. They're going for the onside kick. They do not get it. We're just going to play this thing out, and Bryce Merritt gets an interception, and we're going to come on the field here. What a pick that worked out for us. That was a pretty smart pick on my part, wasn't it? Kneel it down, and we are moving on to our third straight Super Bowl. There we go, 31-14. Let's go see how our team performed in this one. Jared Gladstone is just a great playoff performer. I don't know what it is. 20 for 26, 3 touchdowns, 338 yards. Great game. Okay game. He had a rushing touchdown as well, so this guy's just a big-time gamer. And then 2 touchdowns for Elliott Cassidy, a touchdown for Jonathan Taylor. Just an awesome day on offense, and then defensively, Latu, 1.5 sacks. JT, 1.5 sacks. Skylar Steele, 1.5. Chase Boyd, half sack. Interception by Bryce Merritt that pretty much shut this one down. Let's go see who we're going to be playing from the NFC. Well, speak of the devil, look who we're facing. The Falcons, a team that we tried trading for the first overall pick that they had. And we tried making a trade with them. I know I went really far to draw that. That receiver they took, how good is he? He is, Jesus Christ, look at all these receivers they have. He's still only an 86 overall, but he is X Factor. Glenn Massey. I was going to make a comment on where I thought the reach of that was. I'm not going to. I don't need to get bombed or something. But then they have Deontay Love, the brother of Jordan Love, at quarterback, and Michael Penis Jr. So there they are, the Falcons. Let's go see if we can stop the Dirty Birds. All right, we are in the Super Bowl, and we are absolutely dominating the Atlanta Falcons. They finally put up some points here, 33, and we get an interception from Sauce Gardner, and that should close this one out. But you know what? We're going to come in here, and we're going to try to have a little bit of fun with this team. We didn't get to use them too much when we do these rebuilds. Downs can't hold on to the football. The ball bounces. I want to get another score here. I want another score, and we're going to try to get it off of just this one play here. We're going to throw that one. Another drop. This game really likes having drops for whatever reason. I don't understand that. Like, you can't even breathe on someone. And that's another drop because of contact. What is wrong with this game? Who on the dev team just thinks if you get touched, you drop the football? We're going to call the same play. But I am just, like, so annoyed by that. Like, really? Pierce with the football here. He's going to walk right into the end zone. Touchdown, Colts. Alec Pierce. That could be potentially his final play as a Colt. And we are going to win yet another Super Bowl here, 40-7. We beat the Falcons, that amazing receiving core they had, for ring number 3 of this rebuild. The three-peat is complete. Gladstone was the right move for quarterback, and Gladstone potentially secures himself as the best quarterback in the history of the Indianapolis Colts. So I want to thank you guys for watching this rebuild. If you enjoyed it, be sure to hit the like button, be sure to hit the subscribe button, and I will see you guys for more rebuilds. We have a lot of teams left to do. I'm not sure why our recording cut off. We have a lot of teams left to do here. We actually have 8 teams left to do. We have a couple teams. We have 4 more teams from the AFC and 4 more teams from the NFC. If you could take a guess on who this next NFC team is in the comment section below that we're going to be rebuilding, maybe I'll give you a voice reply on this app. But either way, thanks for watching this rebuild, and I will see you guys the next one for more Madden 26. Peace.